Hello my dear students, a warm greetings to you all. First of all, I welcome you with pleasure to Sri Venkatramana Swami College. I am quite sad that we are not familiar with each other since you are freshers to the college and to the course as well. I wanted to have an interaction class to know about yourself and also about myself to you all. But the present circumstances laid by the COVID-19 pandemic, we are unfortunate to start our classes in online mode. So it is difficult for you and also for the teachers to get adjusted to this platform because this is unique. Online classes are unique. Even though if we use PowerPoint presentations to teach some classes, so we will be in an open class that we will be seeing face to face and discussing the topics. But here, so everything is done with the social distancing. The two, you students will be at your home and we will teach from the college. You have to adjust to this platform. So I have created a Google forum and I have circulated that through WhatsApp. Some students, nearly 12 or 14 students have responded to that. So just to collect the email ID, I created that forum. So by using that email ID, I have created a Google Classroom and I have sent invitation to all the students whom I have received the email. But only one student has been responded and he accepted the invitation, and only one is there in the Google Classroom. So I request all the students to accept the invitation. Before that, you have to install Google Meet app in your mobile phone and also a Google Classroom app in your mobile phone. To have these online classes in an effective mode, I personally suggest you to install these two apps so that at least weekly once or weekly twice, so we will have a Google Meet session where we can see each other and discuss the topics which are not understood by seeing these pre-recorded YouTube videos. Okay, so we will have a Google Meet session. I wanted to start this class, the first class only I wanted to have a Google Meet session, but only one student has responded. So it is little bit difficult for me to pass the message to all the students. We will see at least by this week if you install Google Classroom and Google Meet, so we can start our classes. So let me introduce myself first. So I am Dr. Suyogavardhan DM, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Sri Venkatramana Swami College, Bantwal. So in this semester, you have 4 units under Chemistry Paper 1. So out of these 4 units, 2 units will be engaged by me. Okay, so that is Unit 1 and Unit 4. So Unit 1 says about chromatography. So the first topic what we are going to discuss in Unit 1 is chromatography. So what is meant by chromatography and what is the principle of chromatography and how do we do the classification of chromatographic techniques, and what are the most widely used chromatographic techniques like thin layer chromatography, paper chromatography, column chromatography, like this, and also some aspects and principles of gas chromatography is also going to be discussed in this topic. And next, methods of analysis will be discussed under this Unit 1, and periodic properties. So periodic properties like electron affinity or electronegativity or behavior of the elements on the basis of the periodic properties. So all these will be discussed in periodic properties. So this is Unit 1. And next is Unit 4, which is completely of organic chemistry, where we are going to discuss about nature of bonding in organic molecules and reactive intermediates like carbocations, carbon ions, free radicals, nitrines, carbenes. So all these reactive intermediates will be briefly discussed in Unit 4. So these two are the units which are engaged by me in this semester. So moving on to the first unit, we will start with the chromatography. So what is meant by chromatography? So it is an analytical technique. Chromatography is an analytical technique. A number of techniques we are going to use. So why we will use all these techniques is to characterize the synthetic or a natural compound. Okay, so any compound, if we synthesize in the laboratory or if we extract it from the plant or any other substance, so we have to characterize it. What is meant by characterization? So we are going to study a number of parameters which are present there. Say for example, what sort of functional group is present. So whether the compound is of saturated or unsaturated form. That means, does it have the chemical bond with the single bond or double bond or triple bond? How the atoms or elements are attached between each other. So that will be studied. So what technique we are going to use? So IR spectroscopy, we call it as infrared spectroscopy, which tells us about the functional group and also the bonding pattern. Okay, in the same way, so how many protons are present? So that will be studied under NMR spectroscopy. And what is the mass? What is the molecular weight of the compound? That is studied with the help of mass spectroscopy. So all these studies are called as characterization of any compound is done with this. So before doing this characterization, so the compound which we have synthesized or extracted, that has to be purified or that has to be separated, from the impurities what and all is present. So chromatography is a versatile analytical technique which is used to isolate. That means to make separate from other different unwanted substances. We use that word in a common way. If a person is not mingling with the others, so we call him as he is some sort of isolated person. He doesn't mingle with the others. So we call it like that. Isolated means, so we will separate what compound is needed for us, so that will be separated, isolated, and rest of the things it can be called as impurities, that will be divided. Okay, in the same way it is used to purify and identify and estimate natural and synthetic chemical compounds more effectively. So this is the purpose why chromatography is used. Okay, and this is more effective than any other physical technique. So the practice of chromatography in industries utilized to purify or to control the purity of chemical substances during manufacturing. How does the name chromatography came into the existence? So this is a Greek word. Chromatography is a Greek word where chroma means color. And graphene means to write. That means, as the name itself says, by looking at the color, by observing the color, so we are going to write some informations regarding that compound. So that is what is called as chromatography. And this was suggested by inventor Michael Sweat in the year 1906. He is a botanist. Actually, he was performing the experiment on plants. While performing the experiments in plant, he found that so the green leaf is turning yellow. Why does the yellow color comes? So green leaf doesn't contain yellow color, and while performing the experiments, while treating it with some organic solutions like chloroform or methanol or some sort of alcohol, so he was observed a yellow color. And then he started studying about it. So whether the green compound turns yellow or the leaf itself is does it contains any yellow pigment or yellow component, what is called as a chlorophyll. Okay, so this made him to elaborate the technique, and then it got a name, that is chromatography. So now let us define what is a chromatography. So the definition of chromatography is chromatography is a physical process of separation in which the components to be separated or distributed between two phases. One is stationary phase, which will be having a larger surface area, and another one is mobile phase, which will move in contact with the solid phase, that is stationary phase. So this is how we are going to define chromatography. That means here the physical separation of compound is going to take place. So with the help of a stationary phase or a solid phase, so the separation of the compounds will take place as the mobile phase comes in contact with the stationary phase. So the flow of mobile phase generally brings about migration non-selectively, whereas selective adsorption of the components of the mixture by the adsorbent results in differential separation. Okay, so there is two methods or two types of separation that can take place. One is adsorption and another one is partition. What is meant by adsorption? Adsorption means the compound will get adsorbed to the stationary phase and thereby it will get separated. Okay, so adsorption is a phenomena where the components of the mixture will be adsorbed in the differential separation based on the stationary phase what we have used. So this is how we are going to define chromatography. So to understand these chromatographic techniques in a very effective manner, so we have to know about certain terms which are used in chromatography. Say for example, mobile phase and stationary phase. As I have already mentioned, so here the physical separation of the compounds will take place based on the stationary phase and mobile phase. So that is why it is very important to understand what is meant by a stationary phase or what is meant by a mobile phase. And next is, so the principle is based on two parameters or two concepts, that is one is adsorption and another one is partition. So it is very essential to understand what is meant by adsorption and what is meant by partition. So let us see one by one in detail. So first, stationary phase is a chemical inert solid, or it can also be a liquid compound, which is having a selective and differential adsorption of components in a large surface area of the stationary phase. That means, so chemical which is going to be used as a stationary phase, it should be inert. That means it should not react with the compound or the extract what we are going to use to separate or isolate or to purify. So that should not react with the stationary phase what we are going to use. And another important requirement of the stationary phase is, so it should have a differential adsorption components and also a large surface area of the stationary phase. Okay, so this is what is called as stationary phase. For example, so we will use starch. I think you have seen starch that will be used in the titrations, that especially if we do the potassium iodide titration or iodine titration, so then we are going to use the starch as indicator, so which will give a blue color. So starch, that starch also can be used as a stationary phase. Or calcium carbonate, so this is widely used. Calcium carbonate also can be used, and alumina, charcoal or silica gel. So all these are the examples of stationary phase. And then moving on to the mobile phase. What is meant by a mobile phase? As the name itself says, mobile phase or mobile means so it will move. It will move from one form to the other form, that too especially across the stationary phase. Okay, this also should be inert. That especially it should be inert towards the stationary phase. The mobile phase should not react or do any reactions with the stationary phase, and it is allowed to flow along with sample and provide maximum resolution of the components. For example, so organic solvents like chloroform, acetonitrile, alcohols, petroleum ether, carbon tetrachloride, ethanol, butanol, hexane. So all these are some examples of mobile phase. We can use all these as a mobile phase in chromatography. And next is about partition. So what is meant by a partition? So if stationary phase is a liquid, then it is to be supported on a suitable solid support, and the mobile phase is allowed to flow through slowly, and the mixture can be separated by this technique. So this is what is called as partition. That means if we use a stationary phase in a liquid form, so then here the partition has to be observed. Okay, so when we use stationary phase as liquid, so here depending upon the polarity, so the compound is going to form different bands. We can observe it through color. Okay, so the color will make the difference in the compound, and thereby it can be separated or isolated and purified. So this is what is called as partition. And next is eluent and elution. So what is meant by eluent and elution? So elution is a phenomena of mutual resolving and recovering of component in a mixture absorbed in stationary phase. Okay, so elution means, so if you have seen the chromatographic instrument or this thing, so there it is just like a burette. It is just like a burette, but the circumstances will be little bit wider. So there we are going to fill the stationary phase. Okay, so the stationary phase will be filled off of the column chromatography set. So we are going to fill the stationary phase, or we can take the example of TLC also, thin layer chromatography. So that thin layer chromatography will be patched with the silica gel, and then it has to be immersed or it has to be dipped into the mobile phase. So when we dip it, so based on the capillary action, so the solvent or the mobile phase what we have taken, so that will slowly get eluted. So this will be on the principle of capillary action. Slowly it gets eluted. That means it gets circulated all over the stationary phase. So this is what is called as elution. Okay, so the chemical or the solution what we are going to use, so that is called as eluent. Okay. For example, so cyclohexane, benzene, acetone, so all these can be used as a eluent. So next important thing is RF value. So what is meant by RF value? We are going to measure or calculate whether our compound is purified or does it contain any impurities. So all these things will be understood by checking the RF value. So what it is? So the RF value defines that, so the position of migrated spot on chromatograms are indexed by RF values, where RF value is equals to the distance traveled by the solute zone divided by distance traveled by the solvent zone. Okay, so what is meant by a solute and what is meant by a solvent? So that we have to understand. A solute is nothing but which contains our compound which has to be examined. Okay, solute contains the compound or the substance which has to be examined, and the solution or the solvent is so the mobile phase what we are going to use. Say for example, if we take a plant extract and if we spot a compound in the TLC, so that is what is called as solute. So that will move as the elution process takes place, and it will reside at any one position in the TLC. That whole thing has to be shown to you, but due to this we are not having the live class, it is not possible for me to show it, but once we meet in the Google class or Google Meet, so there definitely I will show you the column chromatography kit and also the TLC, how a thin layer chromatography looks like and how we are going to spot the compound on thin layer chromatography and how the elevation is done. So everything will be demonstrated through Google Meet session. Okay, so I will keep it ready once all the students have installed the Google Meet app and Google Classroom. If you are there in the Google Classroom, definitely we will have a live session. There you can see what is how does a TLC, thin layer chromatography looks like, and how we are going to calculate RF value. Okay, so here the distance traveled by solvent zone means so it is the how much of mobile phase has been eluted all through the thin layer chromatography. So that is what is called as RF value. So we have an ideal RF value. What and all the characteristics should be there for ideal RF value, that we will see in our future classes. Okay, so this is what is about RF value. And next is what is the general principle of chromatography? So chromatography is based on the principle of selective distribution of different components of a mixture between stationary and mobile phases. Okay, so here the distribution of compounds is going to take place. That too, the distribution will take place based on the selective manner. So all the compounds will not be accumulated or situated in one area or one surface. So it will get distributed based on the based on their polarity or based on their solubility. So based on different parameters, it is going to get distributed selectively between stationary and mobile phase. When the stationary phase is solid, so the selective distribution is based on adsorption. So this is what I told. If we use a stationary phase which is a solid, so then the principle depends upon adsorption. Okay, and if we use it liquid, if the stationary phase is liquid, so then the principle depends upon partition. So partition is going to take place. So the separation of components occurs because of combinations of two or more factors such as extent of adsorption, capillary action, rate of migration, etc. So all these are responsible for the separation. Adsorption, that means how much effectively it can get absorbed to the stationary phase, and capillary action. The capillary action directly depends upon the polarity and non-polar nature of the compounds which are getting purified or separated, and also rate of migration, how fast the compounds can reach, how fast they can get separated. So all these factors depends on the general principle of chromatography. Okay, so mainly you should keep in your mind while explaining the general principle of chromatography. So if we are going to use the stationary phase which is in a solid manner, so then definitely the principle depends upon adsorption. If the stationary phase is liquid, then the principle depends upon partition. Okay, the distribution ratio between the stationary and mobile phases of different components are different, that result in differential rate of migration. Okay, so since the distribution ratio will be different for the stationary phase and mobile phase, definitely the different components will get separated in a different rate of migration, which leads to the separation over a period of time. That means it takes time. For one compound, if it takes 10 to 15 minutes, then for the other it will take half an hour or it will take 45 minutes. When we were doing research, so we would have run the column chromatography all through the day. Sometimes 8 hours, 10 hours we will be running the column chromatography to get the very effective separation of the compounds. It has to be done. Okay, so that is why it takes different time. Thus, the separated compounds recovered by continuous flow of the mobile phase. So the step is known as elution. Okay, so this is the general principle of chromatography. And next, moving on to the classification, types of classification. How do we classify chromatography? So the main basis or the main type of classification is based on nature of stationary and mobile phase which is used. Okay, so here you can see there are 7 chromatographic techniques has been listed out. So based on the stationary phase what we have used and the mobile phase what we have used. So very familiar technique in chromatography is column chromatography. So if we use stationary phase as solid, we have the option, we can use any stationary phase, either it might be a solid or a liquid. So we can choose it. Okay, mobile phase, if we use liquid, so then it is called as LSC. LSC means here L is a symbol which is says about liquid, and S is solid, that means liquid solid chromatography. And the second one, partition chromatography. So here the stationary phase is liquid and mobile phase is liquid, then it is called as LLC, that is liquid chromatography. The third one, paper chromatography. So in this sometimes we use the stationary phase solid also. We can use the paper, we can use Wattmann filter paper, I think you have seen it. So we can use Wattmann filter paper also for a chromatographic technique which is called as paper chromatography, and we can use the mobile phase any of the organic solutions like chloroform or acetonitrile we can use, and we can do it. So that will be demonstrated in the class. So once you come to the classes, I will show it how we will do paper chromatography and how to do thin layer chromatography and how to purify column chromatography. You have one experiment also, means the separation of the pigments which is present in green leaf. So that experiment will be carried out using column chromatography. That will be done hands-on once you come to the college and college gets resumed. And next is gas liquid chromatography. So here mobile phase is gas. So this is gas liquid chromatography, and if we use a stationary phase as solid, then it is called as gas solid chromatography. And another important chromatographic technique is ion exchange chromatography. Okay, so this is purely like electrochemistry phenomenon. Here the cations and anions will get separated, so this will be performed with the help of chromatographic principle. So that is why it is called as ion exchange chromatography. So these are some of the basic classifications made based on nature of stationary and mobile phases. Okay, and next classification based on mobile phase. So based on mobile phase, mainly we can classify them into two types, that is one is gas chromatography and another one is liquid chromatography. Okay, next classification based on interactions involved between mobile phase and stationary phase. So we can classify them into three types, that is one is adsorption. So here the interaction between stationary phase and mobile phase will be on the principle of adsorption, and here we can classify them into four types, that is liquid solid chromatography, gas solid, gas liquid, thin layer chromatography. So all these types of chromatography will be dependent on the phenomenon of adsorption. Similarly, partition, if the interaction between the stationary phase and mobile phase is partition, so then also we can classify them based on this partition. And electric charge based on the separation of cations and anions, as I have already told, so we can classify them into ion exchange chromatography technique. Okay, so these are the two types of classifications what we can make of chromatography. One is based on nature of stationary and mobile phase, and another one is based on mobile phase itself. Okay, so this is how we will do the classification. So this is what about the introduction class. I will stop it here. In my next class we will see in detail what is meant by thin layer chromatography and what are the examples and what are the applications. Okay, so I request all the students to watch this video again and again if you don't understand, and you are free to contact me through WhatsApp or through any sort of either you can call or either you can message me and clarify your doubts, what and all the doubts you have and what and all the queries you have. Even if you feel uncomfortable with the online classes, if you want any advices or suggestions what has to be done, you are free to call me at any time, or you can drop a message and I will only call. Okay, so you just drop a message, sir, I have some problem regarding this, understanding this concept or understanding how to adjust to the online classes. So you drop a message through WhatsApp or in any other platform, and I will call you and we will have a clarification. Okay, thank you, and I wish you all the best. And once again I welcome you all to Sri Venkataramana Swami College, and I will be waiting, and hopefully we will meet directly as soon as possible. Thank you very much, dear students.